Rei Kawakubo was born on October 11, 1942 in Tokyo, Japan. She went to Keio University in Tokyo and she studied fine arts and literature. After graduation, she started working in a textile company in its advertisement department. In 1967, she decided to work as a freelance stylist. Unable to find the garments she wanted for herself, she started to design them. In 1969, it was time to start her own label. Comme des Garçons was created. Just a few years later, in 1973, the label became a company, and in 1975, the first store in Tokyo was opened. It was time to bring her work to the West. In 1981, she presented for the first time her collection in Paris. It was a big move. The clothes were challenging the concept of fashion at that time. Everything was innovative, the experimental cutting techniques and the introduction of the black as an everyday fashion, but it wasn't well accepted. Most journalists and critics dismissed her unfinished seams and asymmetrical cuts as absurd, calling the collection Hiroshima chic. But why so much black? Well, that's what she said. To understand more about the brand, it is interesting to know the name's meaning. Comme des Garçons means like the boys in French. Analyzing the collections, we can notice some kind of androgyny and a blur between masculine and feminine, which explains the name. These are some characteristics that we constantly see in their work. The idea of deconstruction is present in most of the time. But maybe the best way to describe it is through the term anti-fashion. Basically, it is a tricky concept that represents the designers against the fashion establishment. It can be easily associated with the Dada art movement. In 2004, she opened a store in the Dover Street Market in London. This is a conceptual store, where she and her husband, Adrian Jove, include also other designers' work. 2008 was the year that Comme des Garçons collaborated with high street retailer H&M, designing men's and women's clothing along with a unisex perfume. It sold out within hours.
Ooh la la!
To celebrate 30 years of Louis Vuitton in Japan, they collaborated creating a special collection. It is interesting to see how Rei's aesthetic joined forces with the classic and iconic brand. The company's website is pretty interesting to be analyzed. It has no online sales intention. The main idea are the collaborations with artists and photographers, creating a unique kind of design and advertisement in the world of fashion. But what does she think about fashion and art? Fashion is not art. You sell art to one person. Fashion comes in a series and is more of a social phenomenon. It is also something more personal and individual because you express your personality. It is an active participation. Art is passive. Fashion as an art or not, it is intriguing to see how many influences we can notice in her work. The surrealism represents the unconscious, the dreams. It is all about the possibilities and spontaneity. From the Cubist movement, we can observe the deconstruction and the main structure of the garment. The natural body shape is usually totally deformed. Rei Kawakubo is also known for many collaborations in different art forms. In 1997, she worked with the choreographer Marcy Cunningham on a dance piece. her collection for Comme the Garçons for Spring 2014, the surrealist elements are impressive. For the advertisement of a fragrance entitled Wonderwood, the brothers Quay produced an exclusive short film. In the world of animation, she collaborated with Matt Groening. The t-shirt was launched in 2011, and the project with The Simpsons creator came as a surprise to everyone. In 2014, she also invaded the world of music. In a collaboration with Pharrell, they launched the unisex fragrance called Girl. For something to be beautiful, it doesn't have to be pretty. Rei Kawakubo. A special thank you to Professor Williams. Video by Gabriele Burkoth.